This one is a megasode. I spent over 70 hours just playing for this video and I made like 3 episodes full of progress. But let's start at the beginning. In the last Minecraft hardcore episode, I made a bunch of progress. I found this beautiful location to build my first base set, got geared up, killed the ender dragon, managed to get an elytra and built one of the safest enders possible. So if you haven't watched that already, go and do that right now. You can come back here afterwards. But for everyone else, I've got important information about the past 50 something days in the world. I've been in mortal danger all along. Now you might wonder why that would be, but I've played in this world for nearly 1 day of playtime and I've never had a totem, which is probably the most essential item for Minecraft hardcore. So I'm right now gonna fly off and try to find an outpost or a woodland mansion if it has to be that one, and get myself some of those totems. So let's go there. And it took a long time, but in the end I did manage to find one with a bit of help. And I am there at an outpost and I have used chunk base to search for it. So maybe you could just tell me if you like that or if you say you shouldn't do that. I searched for it for some time like normally and then I couldn't find one. So I decided to do it like this. You can write a comment. Do you like it? Do you not? Anyway, I am gonna grab these hay bales and kill some pillagers. Wait, I can make an achievement, can't I? Yeah, who's the pillager? No, old Betsy. And that's what you call a Minecraft pro. Who's the pillager now? Exactly. And for anyone confused now, I thought I could get who's the pillager by just shooting a pillager with a crossbow. But turns out, you have to actually kill it with one to get the achievement. Oh, and there he is. He is dead. And I first thought I was gonna worry about finding a village, but there are so many villages on the way home that I already found here. So I am just gonna fly to the first one I find and play a raid. Let's hope I don't die. Those surely sound like some famous last words. Okay, I said it was gonna be easy, but this is quite ridiculous. It didn't take even a minute. Well, was that very English good? Watching thanks for. Sorry, you villagers, maybe I should have trapped one of you. Maybe it also doesn't matter. I mean, you wouldn't be that silly to all die. They probably are. Oh, need to turn up my sounds. Skills are up though. Weird flex. Anyway, I then defeated the raid. You know how that looks. But then, so something very weird happened. You can see there's no bar anymore, but that's not because I won the raid, but because I tapped out of the game and did some other things because I was a bit frustrated that I couldn't find raiders. And when I came back, the raid was just over. There is no raid anymore. But I've got 2 totems, so I consider this a win for now. And if I lose totems, then I'm gonna come back and do another one. Although I'm definitely gonna do that in a village that's a bit more handy than this one. So I'm back and I thought about this for some time. I thought I was gonna do villagers and stuff today and I'm gonna do that. But I'm gonna put even more effort into this video because I just can't stand my ridiculous house here. It's just crammed full of random stuff I need. I am gonna build a proper starter base, because in my first hardcore series I did that in episode 1, but in this one I pretty much rushed episode 1, but I'm gonna do it now. So I've already worked out the plan for that. I'm gonna get all of the resources. That's boring, so I'm not gonna show you, and we can go straight to a building time lapse. So before the time lapse there's actually another update, and I know I probably shouldn't do this, but we are on day 69, so that's nice. Now let's see the time lapse. And now you get a Byepixle room tour. And it is day 100 at the moment, and there is my starter base. And we can actually easily admire it from up here because I've got slow falling. And from a distance the island looks really pretty. So we've got all of these fields there. There's a palm tree back there, a little boat, then yeah, all around a lot of decoration. But now let's go in there. And here we've got a little first room. No idea how you call that, but you can put your shoes in there, I think. Then here the dining table. I think the roof design looks better than initially planned. I really like the little strips and planks there. Everything I need basically is here. Then there is a bit of a furnace array in copper. And my little sorting system, which is labeled. I've already sorted in all of the items. Then we can go up here. Here are all of my books and my little bedroom. I can set my respawn point here. But I'm of course not gonna sleep in this world. Actually I have slept once, because annoyingly the other time I set my respawn point it was night at the moment, so I got one sleep, but I've never skipped a night. And then if we go down under the ladder here, there's my little nether portal, and I think this room really looks quite good. So that's the last thing here. We can just go in, and this is our nether spawn. But that was only a small part of this video, and that's why here back behind my tree I've made a bit of a bucket list building to plan out the rest. So here are all of my goals written down. Let's just start. I want to relocate my villager breeder and make it way bigger so that I can get more villagers. After that I need to build an iron farm. That's all gonna happen in the mesa back there, by the way. After the iron farm is built I'm gonna build a bee farm for quite a silly reason. Then I've already got villagers and iron from building the bee farm in close proximity. After that I'm gonna go onto the nether roof and build a starter gold farm. When that's done I'm gonna have stacks of golden apples and build a villager trading system. And then, that's gonna take a really long time, I'm gonna have over 100 villagers that get me everything you could ever need. And when that's done I'm gonna get really good. And what that means you're gonna see at the end of this episode. I'm gonna have to spoil you a little bit right now just so that no one watches to the end and is disappointed. I will end up not having enough time to get really good, but that's gonna happen in a future episode. And now that day 100 is ending, I have to conclude. It went really well. It's very fun to not sleep actually. I was worrying that it would be really annoying, but I like it. I also like to kill phantoms. I've already killed 210 of them. And now that we're on day 100 with 200 phantoms killed, I'm gonna say we are gonna reach day 1000 with 2000 phantoms killed. And now I'm gonna fly off and build a villager breeder. And also, this thing here is just a floating island in the water because I couldn't be bothered to get all this down. I will do that eventually and connect it to the bottom, but not without the beacon. So I've been grinding it out. It's now day 142, how you can see here. And I've got a gigantic tower. So there are 5 villager breeding modules that will hopefully work so that every villager drops down. And just when starting recording I noticed that I may sound a bit bad because I had a cold, or I have a cold. But anyway, I've also built a 3 module iron farm. You can see I go big in this world now. And I'm gonna have to fill up all of the villagers. There are gonna be 36 villagers in here in total. May not complete every layer today, but 3 of the modules already have villagers in them. One's got 1 of them, so I need 3 more villagers. I'm just gonna build up the rail system here, and when that's done I'll go search for some beehives so that I can get a lot of bees, because then I also have already told you need a bee farm. The resources are all here. And after that I have to build a gold farm, so gonna be quite busy. But then I realized that I also had to do something else. So I've now done a few things. I've completely set up my villager breeder back home, and the iron farm is more or less built. I just need to build the killing chamber and get in all of the villagers. But I did some things while waiting for the villagers, and now I didn't really have anything to do, so I decided I'm gonna get a beacon, because I wanted to get that anyway in this episode, because I need a lot of blocks for my village area. I need like more than a shulker box of blocks to build the trading system, and getting so many blocks will take some time, so we can just get a beacon. Just that this fortress seems to be pretty bad, to say the least. And that's why I went to search for another one. And literally 10 seconds later I've got one. Maybe this is better in a basalt biome. Basalt deltas. Anyway, a basalt deltas biome. At least there it was a bit hasty, at least there are crossroads. But despite that, this one was no good either, so I flew off once again to find a third one. Okay, I think I've now found a really good one finally. Because it's big and it's a Souls and Valley bastion. It just shouldn't die. Then everything's gonna be fine. And I just got the first skull, there it is. So far killed 32 wither skeletons in this world. So gonna need a stack more and then I'll have it with this luck. And wither skeleton number 48 dropped the second one. One more to go. And I'm on fire because after about 75 I got my fourth head. I picked another one up at some point. I didn't even notice that I already got 4. You know what, I really don't wanna die, but I'm gonna get 6 so that I've got 2 beacons. Gonna be right back. So I've now got 6 wither skeleton skulls, a ton of bones and coal, which will be helpful in the future as well, and 3 diamonds from some random chest and a lot of blaze rods. But I'm gonna fly home after I've killed this guy and craft 2 beacons. Oh no, I can't craft 2 beacons, I have to kill 2 withers. So we're gonna do that. Yes, I just forgot that you have to kill a wither for a beacon. Shame on me. But when I remembered again, I prepared myself as good as I could in a reasonable amount of time to actually kill the wither. Legit. So I'm here in the night in a far out desert. I've got my normal protection helmet instead of blast protection and the chest plate so that I'm secure. Then I just made a smite 4 diamond sword and strength potions, so I'm not too worried that the wither's gonna actually kill me. But what I am worried about is these guys, cause if they explode me, that would be really bad, now that I've not got blast protection. Honestly, I should have maybe just lit this area up, but I'm not gonna fly back and do that now. Maybe I'm gonna regret it, I hope not. Now we can do it. I've got 3 strength potions for 4.5 minutes, so I'm just gonna, I think I'm gonna wait. Why are you shooting me directly into this hole? That's like the worst thing. Oh. Please. And he's dead. Nice. Used up a few golden apples, but other than that I'm fine. And at least he gave me tons of sand, so that's also something good, I think. But you really are fast when you're in the sword phase with like strength and smite. So I'm just gonna wait a second until I've not got the wither effect anymore, which is now. Then I'm gonna spawn the second one. Okay. Strength, golden apple, phantoms. Okay, now I've got him in the close-up phase, whatever it's called, and I should easily be able to finish him. Nice. Got the second beacon star. Nether star. I've done it. I've defeated the wither twice. It wasn't that hard. Got a strength potion left. And now I'm gonna fly home and make 2 beacons. Oh, and I have not thought about one thing so far, which is what's gonna be the beacon base exactly? I guess we're gonna figure out. Anyway, let's craft it. So I'm back here on day 154. I've crafted a beacon and another one that's in here. And I've collected a bunch of blocks. I'd had a lot of raw gold, which is not an English sentence, and lots of diamonds, which is from a secret project I can't tell you about so far, but eventually you're gonna know what it is. And I'm smelting a lot of iron that I got from the mountains back there, so I should have exactly 164 blocks so that I can set up a full beacon. And I got it, and I've already got half of the stone of a shulker box full of stone. But that doesn't matter now. And you may think I'm really silly to not go mine for diamonds. But first of all, there is not really any stone at diamond level, or at least at good diamond level. And diamonds aren't of any use if we've got villagers later. I think it will be much more useful if we stock up on copper, because I think it's highly likely that I'll start building with that at some point. And I need efficiency 5. So I'm gonna get that and then mine a bunch. So I think let's do a mining time lapse. And then I did some other things. So I'm here on the nether roof where I glitched up, which is pretty nice. I've got a portal back. I actually didn't break bedrock because I didn't want to, and I don't have a lot of gunpowder for TNT. But you can see I tried something out which is very interesting, to just make my iron golem killing chamber up here, because in the future I'm definitely gonna live rather on top of the nether than in the nether. So it's quite handy to have my iron farm here. There are 2 iron golems and the farm seems to be working. I've got 20 iron already and poppies, which are actually important, because the next thing I wanna do is to find a beehive, get it with my silk touch pickaxe in the night, and then breed the bees. So let's do that. The farm for the bees is already nearly built, so I just need to get the beehives in, and when that's done I can start building the gold farm, I think. And in the night I finally got it. There it is. Let's just hope there are at least 2 bees. Now I'm gonna fly back home, set up kind of a little breeding area so that I can get half a stack of beehives which are filled with bees, and then I'm gonna complete the bee farm. And now day 166, I've set up everything down here, and it's day, and there are no bees, and I don't know why. I may have to find another one, because that one's just rubbish and there are no bees in it. But the point stands, I've built up everything that I'm gonna need, so I'm just gonna find another beehive. You don't need to see that. And then I'm gonna grind out breeding bees and building the trading system. So now I've here got tons of bees and I can breed them. I actually found lots of them in the forest. So let's just breed all of them, and then I can already get some of the honey to make some more bee nests. And with exponential growth, I'll shortly have enough bees. This is ridiculous. I've been working on this project. Next try. I've been working on this project for about 100 days now, excluding the special thing I'm doing. My connection or Mojang has a problem, so my skin doesn't load. And I may not even be halfway done. But let's see on what progress level we actually are on day 180. So we've got a lot of bees in here. And what I intend on doing is to get them all out of these original bee nests that I don't want to use for the farm because they are special and rare. Because I think if I breed today and get all of them out of here, then I could actually have all of my beehives filled and complete my bee farm. Then everything else is more or less completed. So my villager breeder has been completed a long time ago, and all of these 3 towers of villagers are filled in. This one's not quite done. I need 6 more villagers, then the iron farm will be totally done. And I've already built the layout for my villager trading system. So this is gonna be where I can run along and I can turn in, and on both sides of me there are gonna be 16 villagers, all of which are zombified, so that nearly all of the trades should be at 1 emerald. Maybe some of them are gonna be higher if they are trades I really don't need. But I'm gonna have to get a zombie in here to convert my villagers. Then I'm gonna have to get the villagers in. For that, I'm probably gonna build a gold farm and AFK there, so that I can get enough golden apples to cure my villagers. Then I'm gonna need to brew a lot to cure them as well. And then I need to get all of the right traits from my librarians. So it's fair to say there's still a lot left to do. So in the night of day 181, I think I've built up the bee farm correctly now. I just hope that most of the bees are in the beehives, because they worked kind of weird so that not all of them directly went into their hives when it was night. I was a bit confused. I didn't know if it was full, but I hope it should produce quite well and I should have enough honeycomb. But now I may fill this iron farm with the last villagers that are there and then get the block pallet for my villager trading hall. So this is just a little in-between clip, but I really wanted to show you something, which is my phantom head collection. In there I've now got a stack of phantom heads, which I think is a really nice way to count my days, because I don't sleep and every night there are phantoms, and phantom heads are quite random, so I'd love to think that one day I'm gonna have a full shulker box of those. For now, we've got a stack, which is a massive achievement as well. It's the night of day 204, I'm Byepixle, the light is weird, and you can really see how long this video is pre-recorded if you look up for what I needed the skin. But regardless of my pre-production, I really need a lot of villagers, 192 to be exact, and most of the types that exist, and I would really like to show you all of the designs for the little villager things. So I've got everything that I will need in here, and I'm just gonna show you each little module. So this is design number 1, it's for the librarian, how you can see, and you've probably already seen it in one of my videos, because it's the same one I used in Minecraft Ultimate, and later this stair is gonna be back there. I just need to keep this open so that the villagers can fall in. So this one is for the cartographer, and I've built up all of them already because I kind of forgot to record a clip after the last one. But I know it looks a bit dull. There are only really 2 different types of wood other than in the other ones. I think this might be my least favorite design, but it's still not that bad. And by the way, these glass tubes are temporary. There's just gonna be a zombie in here to zombify all of my villagers. When that's done, then all of this is gonna be removed. And now I can also already show you this one, and this may be the most interesting one. It's for the cleric, and this is more or less the only reason why I already built a honey farm, because I really like this and I wanted to do it, and also it was kind of a good way to force myself to build a honey farm, because it's quite likely that in the future I'm gonna need lots of honeycombs when I start building with copper, and I have to wax it, don't have to oxidize it, it oxidizes itself. And I'd thought that there weren't gonna be enough honeycomb blocks, but now all of the beehive cleric boxes are built up, and I actually didn't need to go back because, embarrassingly enough, I am bad at calculating and I took way more resources of everything than I needed, so I actually had honeycomb blocks spare as well as any other block. Anyway, this is the new design for the mason, and this one looks quite interesting, I think, because it's very unique. It's the first one that hasn't got a woody or naturey feel to it, but more of a stony feel. And this is the farmer's cell. Yes, it is a cell. And it's also a little bit plain. I used jungle for everything except for the trapdoors, but I think it doesn't look too bad. You've probably already seen it in Minecraft Ultimate. Let's go on. And this one is for the fisherman, and it's honestly not that fisherman themed. I don't get fisherman vibes when I look at it, but I think it's fine. It doesn't look too bad. It's probably one that took me a long time to come up with an adequate design. And now it's 3.5 days after I started building this, and I've made all of the designs, so I'm just gonna show you the last ones because there are not a lot of them. So here are gonna be my 4 weaponsmiths. They look pretty standard, actually like a 2012 build. Then I've got the armorers, also 4 of them, and 4 toolsmiths, which have a nice little contrast with the white quartz, and then the blue leather workers. And I know that this is red, but it's gonna oxidize. It didn't have oxidized copper anymore. And now I'm gonna make the mambo and say, from up here this looks bonkers. I think we can all agree that that's not how you pronounce bonkers. Anyway, eventually there's definitely gonna be a big building, but I love the theme and running around here. But before I can do anything and zombify and get villagers, I'm gonna need to build an iron farm. And you can't even see my eyes with this skin. But regardless of my bad skin, you've seen me build an iron farm several times, especially the boring starter one, so there's just gonna be a 30-second montage. It's gold. You might have already guessed it, but every time I said iron farm there, I meant gold farm. And now the gold farm is done, but before we come to that, I need to show you something terrible that happened right before building it. There has been a terrible assassination attempt. This guy just came there with his sword and I didn't have my helmet on for some reason. And he free-hitted me and I used my totem. My nether portal really isn't safe. I'm gonna go into the nether right away and fix this. And it's now day 219. And you might wonder why this says day 228. Well, that's because it is day 228, but I know a lot of hardcore players actually don't ever AFK, which is nice, but I really like to AFK. So I decided I'm only ever gonna AFK a time that can be divided by 20 minutes, and then I can subtract the days from my actual days, and I can say the playtime that I've actually played. So I've played for 219 days. And with these 9 AFK days or 3 hours, we've got exactly 5 blocks of gold. Should be enough for over 5 stacks of golden apples, which is enough for all of my villagers. But now that I'm editing this and it's a few days later, I want you to tell me. Is it more honest to subtract AFK days because by going AFK I could pretend to have managed to survive longer than I actually have? That's a long sentence. Or do you think it's cheaty because I would pretend to have built everything I did in a time that's actually shorter than I did? Let me know down in the comments. But now we're back at the industrial zone with the villager breeder, and you know, I've been putting this off a bit, building the gold farm first, designing all the trading system, but I'm a bit of a moron. I built a villager breeder here, thinking 5 villager breeders, that's gonna be fast. I don't think it really worked out, it wasn't 5 times as fast as a normal one. But regardless of that, we definitely don't have our 192 villagers that we need back there. And the villager breeder is built so that when I'm there doing villager things, it's not loaded. How is that meant to work? I'd have to AFK 7 hours if this thing worked properly, 5 times as fast as a normal one, and I don't think it does. But on the other hand, it's definitely gonna take me 6 hours to get everything with all of the villagers in place there. So, unfortunately, I'm just gonna have to take down all of this villager breeder and rebuild it back there. But I'm not gonna rebuild it in tower form like I did here, but it's gonna be side by side. So let's pack a villager breeder.zip. I've been grinding again. I've built up all of the 5 villager breeder setups. I've got all of the villagers in there and I've already rail systemed everything. But of course I found a problem again, because if I unseat the villagers from the minecarts in there, they're just gonna appear back there. So what I'm gonna have to do is quite tedious. I'm gonna have to build up 2 blocks everywhere here, so that when, for example, I want to have a villager in here, I can get him in there, and the rails are gonna be up top here then, and I can unseat him and he's gonna be on top of the block, and then I can remove this stone block and he's gonna fall down. But first of all, it's night now, so I'm gonna get the zombies in, my zombificators. And then I really started doing villager trading, and let's just say it really was nerve-wracking. It's the 21st of March 2022, 16 o'clock, and I really wanna see how much I can still get done today. So let's start. I just nearly lost this world. This guy killed 2 of my totems because I've got one with a sword in here. Where can you see him? There he is, the zombificator with his sword. I lost 2 totems. I hate this. I've already lost 4 totems in this world. And I'm just at day 238. And I'm, by the way, 1.5 hours in, and I've hardly finished the setup for everything. So it's gonna take some time, to say the least. But let's go on grinding. So it's now 3 PM on the next day. Yesterday I kind of messed up a lot and it didn't really work out, but I think I've now developed a strategy to do all of this. So I'd say let's see how much I can accomplish now in an hour. Okay, I'm pretty much an hour in here, and you can see I don't have shaders because I turned up my simulation distance. Although I could just reverse that because I just found out that despawning isn't affected by the simulation distance. It's always 30 blocks away from the player, but I have to be really careful so that none of these guys despawn, and I think it will take me longer than expected because I had to redo some things. But now all of these should be zombified and healed to once, and then a zombie is contained here in this chamber. Hello, you idiot. I just totally messed up, but the zombie is contained in this chamber. And I'm just gonna let him out again if all of them are healed, so that I can heal them the second time later. And yeah, it's gonna take some time. Let's hope it works now. And from there on out it kinda worked as planned most of the time, but I still was neither particularly fast nor did I enjoy it in any way. So I did about 1/3 of the work and then edited and uploaded both of the half-hearted hardcore videos until I started grinding again at the start of the next weekend. It's the 26th of March, it's a Saturday. I just uploaded both the shorts and the normal half-hearted hardcore video, and you know, I haven't really been enjoying working with villagers, which was to be expected, but I thought it would be going faster. I would be a bit faster with it, but apparently I'm pretty slow. I've now kind of made 1/3 of it. I know I haven't got all of the librarians at their jobs, although you don't know, but now you know. But I think it's 18 o'clock. I'm gonna work another 4 hours on this today, and I'm gonna hope that out of these 8 more spaces that have to be filled and zombified, I can get 3 done, because that would mean that within 6 hours and 40 minutes I should be able to finish it tomorrow. I really hope that I'm gonna be done at the end of this weekend. Then I can edit the first hardcore video and I'm free of villagers. But I think it's really gonna be a good idea that we made this so early, because I'm gonna be happy about it in the future. I'm gonna have access to so many things with the villagers. But for now, let's go and grind it out. I'll see you in an hour. So I'm not gonna show you all of the hourly updates right now because the video is long enough already, but I'd say the conclusion from the end of Saturday is quite interesting. And it's now 3 hours after I started this, and I managed to complete 1/3 of the whole thing in about 2.5 hours, when I actually just expected to get 3 out of the 8 modules done in 4 hours. So I was like twice as fast as expected, and then I used the last half of the 3rd hour to fill the row number 5 and 6 out of 8 with villagers. I'm speaking too fast. And even though I had planned to work on this for another hour, I think I'm gonna go to bed. And I'm positively surprised to say that I actually now expect this to be done within 4 hours tomorrow, including everyone being perfectly zombified, the librarians selling every book in the game, and this ugly stone thing here being removed. So the next day has now actually started. It's 7:45 AM. Let's see how much I can done in the next hour. And my grammar definitely shows that it's quite early in the morning, but regardless of that, as before, no hourly updates of course.
2 hours later.
It is now the 2nd hour and I'm done with all of my villagers. Everyone I need is in here and zombified, and I've set up a beacon here, how you can see, so that I can mine the stone faster. But then I encountered a problem, because in the original design the stairs are back there, but the stairs weren't there when I built this, so they didn't have a protection from like lightning when I removed the stone. So I'm first gonna have to push in all of these stairs with pistons, and then I can remove the stone. But that should be done in about 20 minutes. and then I'm gonna do all of the librarians and get all of the enchantments. It is now over 2 hours after I've recorded the last clip. I don't exactly know how much, but we are on day 288 and I'm done. It's incredible. I didn't actually think anymore that I'd ever get this done. I've never built a trading hall that even comes close to this one. I'm so glad it's over now. And I tell you, I'm not gonna die just for the single reason that if I survive several years in this world, I won't have to make villagers anymore for several years. But now all of that's done, I've got all of the enchantments and everything I'll need, and I'll pack all of my shulker boxes and fly back home, because we have to look at our bucket list again. Oh yeah, we can use these nice shaders again. I'm very happy about that. Obviously that doesn't work in the trading hall, even though the villagers pathfinding is... oh, now you're close. The villagers pathfinding is destroyed by the carpets. It's still quite laggy, but luckily without shaders it works quite well. I still get my 80 FPS. But now we are here on our island in the garden, and here is our bucket list. And you can probably hear my loud PC because I just turned on the shader. But I am very happy to say the villager breeder is completed, the iron farm is completed, the bee farm is completed, and I could just not speak at the moment there. The starter gold farm is completed, and yes, we're gonna build a way bigger one in the near future. And the villager trading system is not decorated but completed. And I have to say, I have already planned out when I'm gonna decorate that. It's not gonna be too long, but it's gonna be a few episodes in the future. But there's one thing we haven't done, which is to get really good. So now we are not gonna do it, because I decided that what I understand with getting really good would take another 50-100 days or so, and I really don't want to spend that long in this episode, because I've already spent over 200 days or about 70 hours recording it. But we're gonna get really good in the 4th episode, because in the next one we're gonna build 2 essential farms, and you can probably already guess which farms these are gonna be. And I'm not gonna only build them, I'm also gonna decorate them. So there's gonna be a bit more building there and a bit less grinding, and I hope you enjoyed this one. It will probably be the episode I've put the most effort in for a long time, because I'm just producing long before the videos get uploaded, so I've got more time. But yeah, this took me like 3 weeks to make. I hope you like it. I think the early game is now done to a good amount, and I can't speak English anymore. I'm tired, I don't want to play now, I'm gonna do something else. Hope you enjoyed it. You can like and subscribe and leave a comment about how you liked it, and I am out. It's crazy that we've built this house in this episode. It's literally 3 weeks ago.